Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
It's Mark Basshead 4 here with a beard.
Yes. Yeah.
And John, needing a haircut.
But no beard.
No beard.
No.
But we're here courtesy of Google Plus, because we love Google Plus so
We
much.
do. Biggest fans.
Everything they're doing is wonderful, especially to the vinyl community. The music you're hearing in the background is Jem Finer's Long Player. And this is
It's getting quite loud as well.
this is the vinyl. This is an extract from the vinyl record, which has two kind of pieces of its 1,000. It plays for 1,000 years, and it's on a. It never repeats itself over 1,000 years, and it's installed in various places around the world. And look up longplayer.org and find out more about it. This is actually a 12-inch vinyl and a book as well inside, limited edition.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, we're just going to share the tunes we have been listening to this evening. We kicked off with Fred Wesley and the Horny Horns. Fantastic album, this. Obviously, basically the P-Funk rhythm section and the P-Funk horn section, the Horny Horns. We were listening to the track Foreplay.
Absolute classic.
Yeah.
And you follow up one chunk of P-Funk with another chunk of P-Funk and played deep off Parliament's Motor Booty affair, which was a kind of around 1978, 1979. Another very funky track.
Keeping the funky spirit alive was Society of Soul. This is from the sort of mid-90s and is it Organised Confusion?
Organised Noise.
Organised Noise, yes. So the collective that included Outcast, CeeLo Green, Dungeon Family, and
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor. Yeah,
And the Goody Mob.
And the Goody Mob, indeed. Yeah. So just a really good example of kind of mid-90s funk, I guess.
Southern Funk.
Southern funk.
Very nice record, actually.
Yeah, with incredibly heavy bass line you're listening to.
Yes. I never need much of an excuse to play the Isley Brothers, and something connected me to Footsteps in the Dark from Go For Your Guns by the Isley Brothers. I mean, I just love the Isley Brothers, actually, particularly their kind of teenage period. Just sounds so fresh as well still.
And I think it was listening to Ronald Isley's voice that the only place I could go after Ronald Isley was another incredible soul singer. And this is the new Donny Hathaway 4 CD box set on Atco that has just come out. It's got a lovely booklet. You can see the 4 CDs there. It's basically got a CD of, a kind of compilation of loads of about 24 tracks from the various different Donny Hathaway solo albums. Then there's also a CD of all unreleased tracks, and then an alternative live CD, because obviously he released a couple of live albums. So a whole CD live at the bitter end with different versions, What's Going On, Sackful of Dreams, The Ghetto, but equally great versions. And then a 4th CD which is all collaborations with Roberta Flack. So if you don't know Donny Hathaway, you really need to get to know him, and this is a very good place to start.
You listen to the version of Sackful of Dreams.
Sackful of
It's
Dreams.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
beautiful version.
Yeah.
From one classic soul voice to another one, we went for Mr. Bobby Womack, who I think has already made a couple of appearances on our vids, and listened to the track called "If You Want My Love, Put Something Down on It." This is kind of mid-period, I guess. Bobby, when he was still on United Artists. Good stuff.
Very nice. And we went from there to an instrumental track off this Patrice Russian album, Straight From The Heart. The instrumental was called Number One, and we were just saying it was like a classic bit of what we called in the UK in the late 70s, early 80s jazz funk.
Definitely. I'm not quite sure I got to the next track, but I got into the whole thing a few weeks ago of listening. I've not been able to listen to much vinyl recently, so I've been listening to my iPod quite a lot, doing lots of travelling and so forth. And I started listening to all the Prince albums that were not meant to be very good. or at least I didn't think I liked, and ended up listening to Graffiti Bridge, which I hadn't heard for quite a long time, and the incredible track which is called Joy and Repetition, of which there's an amazing live version of on the One Night Alone box set.
Amazing version. This is a great version.
Great, actually. It's actually a great album. What I did find out was that all the Prince albums I thought I didn't like are really, really good, and I do like them.
I think the connection for me was there was a fantastic, very intense guitar solo on the track Joy and Repetition, and it just made me think of Jimi Hendrix, and then it made me think of, I think Jimi Hendrix's last recorded appearance was actually on Stephen Still's first album, on the track Old Times, Good Times. This sounded really great, actually, really nice recording, some fantastic sort of psychedelic Hammond work from Stephen Stills himself, and of course some Jimi Hendrix guitar soloing going on. Great album.
It sounded very good indeed. I then another thing I've discovered recently was listening to Steve Winwood's second solo album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is called Ark of the Diver. I got interested in it because I was reading about Talk, who I got really, really like, and they mentioned the track Spanish Dancer off here, which sounded incredibly interesting, actually. He played virtually everything on the record himself, used lots of synths and lots of I suppose very, very early drum programming, I guess, from the late 70s, early 80s.
Even a kind of sort of acidy synth sound, I was saying, on this track. Yeah. Definitely worth a re-listen or listen for the first time.
It sounded almost vaguely kind of kraut rockish in places as well. Anyways, that's Stevie Winwood's second album, Ark of the Diver.
So Steve Winwood for me is one of the great UK, I guess you could call him a blue-eyed soul singer, or just a great soul singer. And another great UK soul singer is this guy, who you may or may well not know, Jess Rhodes, and this is his self-titled solo album from 1974, and we were listening to the track On Broadway. This album was recorded half in New Orleans and half in the UK, and it's produced by Alan Toussaint, and on many of the tracks the Meters are the backing band. But the On Broadway sounded fantastic.
And the rest of it was produced by Chris Blackwell.
Chris Blackwell, yeah.
I'm not quite sure how I got to this next record again, but I think I'm still thinking about Jimi Hendrix and the connection earlier on, actually. And this was the first Chicago album still called Chicago Transit Authority. I just remember reading that Jimi Hendrix really liked Terry Kath, who was the guitarist on here. He played the end of the freeform guitar track of this. Still think this album sounded amazing.
Really great.
It sounded great, actually. There were a lot of kind of rock bands with horns around this time, Blood, Sweat and Tears and Flock and all kinds of people. So this is from the first Chicago.
But interesting enough, it was reminding me, it had a kind of early Led Zepp sound, but obviously predated both those bands.
Yeah.
From there, we went to this album, which is by the UK band called Family. I think I've shown one or two of their albums previously. This is called Fearless, which is a good title for an album that doesn't really sit comfortably with any particular type of genre. And the track we listened to in particular was very odd.
Very odd, yes. What was it called?
It was called, what was it called? It was called Laugh and Sing.
Yeah.
And sort of had kind of barbershop harmonies and very nice wah-wah guitar and kind of quite strange falsetto lead vocals.
Yeah.
Which is very uncharacteristic of the sandpaper voice of Roger Chapman, the lead singer.
Yeah.
But Polly Palmer is a vibes player who was one of the band, I think, alongside John Wetton. But yeah, Family, worth investigating.
John Wetton, of course, who went on to join the classic lineup of King Crimson.
That's
with
right.
Bill Bruford and co.
Yeah.
Then we had a break and moved into I guess what is a bit of a jazzy section.
Yes.
Really. And
fueled by sheep's cheese.
Sheep's cheese. So we had some sheep's cheese, which obviously got us in